Bless, bless. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Take It Higher. I am Mystic Blue, and on this channel, if you are new or you have not seen any of my videos, I discuss spirituality, healing techniques, healing tips to heal from like trauma, abuse, any pain-related issues. Spirituality, spiritual advisement, holistic tips, so much more. I am versatile in a lot of things. So yeah, if you read the description of my channel, you'll know all the stuff that I'm into. I'm into magic, manifestation, all of that stuff. So yeah, it's a brief thing about my channel. So today, I'm going to talk about a ritual that I created of myself, and I combined a little bit of hypnotherapy in there, self-hypnosis, and just releasing of past traumas and pain into a ritual. So I won't say I created it. My higher self, spirit, gave it to me, so I created it. So I'm really excited to share this with you. This is something that I just recently did myself. I'm currently on a 21-day water fast, so I'm getting downloads and downloads of information from Spirit, and this came to me from Spirit to do because I am doing a release of things, of trauma that I grew up with, healing that I need from just my past in general. So it was so beneficial. I wanted to make a video of it so everyone could do it because it's so awesome. So quickly, this video won't be too long because it's not really difficult to do. So what you do is you just get a piece of paper, any piece of paper. It can be your journal if you like, but it will be a piece of paper that you will be burning or ripping up. So make sure if it's in a journal that you don't want to rip out the pages, don't use that paper. Just get like a regular spiral notebook or something that you don't mind ripping up, okay? So, and just make sure you have plenty sheets of paper because you'll be writing a lot of things. Or you may not be writing a lot of things. It depends on how much past trauma or hurt that you need to release. So you get the piece of paper, pen of course, and then you write. It's easiest to start from back in the past since you were a child. So start from your childhood. And actually, I forgot to mention, this is also inner child work as well. So it's a lot combined in one in this ritual. You're also going to do some inner child work, okay? So go back as early as you can from your child. Like me, when I did this, I started when I was around 5 years old. That's when I feel a lot of things started shifting for me in my life. And some deep wounds were formed around that time. Just different events that happened around me. So you could go back as early as you can remember and write down an event that happened or something that happened. Maybe you grew up in abuse and something difficult happened. And I want you to write everything down. I mean everything. If you were molested or if you were abused, or it's horrible things to mention, but the point is to heal you, okay? We're all about healing over here at Take It Higher. So write down every traumatic thing that has happened to you as a child, and I want you to go back as early as you can remember. If you block some things out, that's fine. Don't try to remember. But if it comes to you, I want you to write it down. And each one you write down, so you write down an event that happened that was traumatizing for you or that was hurtful for you. So you label that as number 1, okay? You write it down in detail as much as you can remember. It doesn't have to be a whole story. You can just say so-and-so did this to me, or so-and-so said this to me, or this happened to me. It could just be short sentences actually. And then underneath that, I want you to write what I learned. So then I want you to sit and think about, because you're now an adult now, this was when you were a child, what you learned out of that situation. And some of the situations can be difficult to figure out what you learned. And that's okay. That's when you pray and you ask Spirit or whoever you believe in or if you just need to take a few deep breaths and just allow it to come to you, it will come to you, what you learned out of the situation. Because you are now an adult, you're now older, and you can look back and be like, this situation taught me this. So once it comes to you, write it down. And keep in mind, it may not come to you right away. It may come to you a few minutes later. This actual ritual will take some time. It took me 2 days to complete this ritual. I didn't do it all in one day. There's a lot of stuff that I had to release, and I wanted to just really process it. And it may take 3 days for some, or a week, or even a couple weeks. It's okay, as long as you finish it, okay? So you write down the traumatic experience. You write down what you learned. And then here's the hypnotherapy part. Then you change the story. And what that means when you change the story is you imagine, so that you got to go into your subconscious mind. It's best to close your eyes, take a few breaths right where you are. So make sure you're doing this ritual when you're alone. It's probably best in like a bedroom, or if you're in the living room and no one can bother you, you're able to just go into a self-hypnosis state, which is just a brief, just deep breaths, close your eyes. Then start to use your imagination, and I want you to imagine that situation and change the story. So let's say it's a story of molestation, because a lot of us have gone through that, right? So change the story to where instead of the person molesting you, maybe someone walked in the room and caught them before they could touch you, and then that person got in trouble or whatever, then they ended up apologizing, and bam, it never happened. Tragic story to be molested, but this is some real shit, guys. We need to talk about this stuff. Or maybe you were abandoned by a parent or parents as a kid. So you can imagine and change the story that your parents didn't abandon you, or your parent didn't abandon you, and that they gave you a hug and they came back and explained why they were gone, and then you guys were cool. Whatever you need to do. And I know some people are going to say, well, that didn't happen in real life. It doesn't matter if it didn't happen in real life. We're talking about the subconscious mind. We need to change the subconscious mind so we can change our thought patterns and change what we're holding on to. Because that traumatic experience that happened stays with us if we don't release it, if we don't change the story. We have to change it in our subconscious mind, and all that does is open up doors for us to think differently in life. We know that in reality that story really happened. You were really molested, you were really abused, you were really abandoned, or yelled at for something you didn't mean to do when you were a kid. Sometimes that's traumatic for somebody, for a child. So whatever it is, it's really all about subconscious reprogramming. That's how you heal, okay? So imagine the story changing. And you can write that down also as number 3. You change the story, imagine exactly what you're going to change it to, or state what you're going to change it to on the piece of paper, and then actually go through that in your head, in your mind, in your subconscious, and imagine it changing. Now you can do it right after you write it, or what you can do is you can go through your whole timeline and just write it down what you're going to do, and then go back over it and then do the imagination part. That's what I did for myself. I just wrote everything out first. I did my 1, 2, 3. I did the traumatic experience. I did what I learned from it, and I did how I'm going to change the story. I wrote it down for I had 30 different incidents, guys, maybe almost 40. It was up there. It was a lot, but that's okay. And then I went back after I wrote everything down, and I did different little mini hypnotherapy sessions, and I changed the story for each of them. So that's why it took me 2 days. Maybe I had about 27, almost 30 of them, but it took me a minute, okay? So that's what you're going to do for everything that comes to you, that you can think of, is you're going to write, and it's best to start from the earliest child years and then work your way up until now, until today, until your age now or time now, the most recent event. And if you have a trouble with well, nothing traumatic really happened to me. I had a perfect life, my family was cool, da-da-da-da-da. But if there's something that pops in your head, because Spirit will always give it to you. And if you think about an incident that maybe happened with a friend, that you guys had a disagreement, and you fell out and it made you feel really, really bad and sad about it, that may not be a traumatic experience, but it's still some healing of pain that needs to be done. Because it doesn't have to always just be traumatic. It can just be, you need to heal from some pain, okay? You need to release it. This is the season of releasing. You need to release it. So you can do the same format for just pain in general, for disappointment, for hurt, any type of hurt. Just go through, list everything that hurts you since you were a child up until your adult phase or life now. Number 2 will be, what did you learn from it? Because that is a key healing point. Because once you realize what you learned from it, then you start to have what's called gratitude. You're like, you know what? That shit was horrible, but I learned this, or I became this person. I'm stronger now, so I'm grateful for that part of it. That it made me stronger. It made me be more wiser. It made me not jump into things without researching first. It made me realize that love is everywhere and it doesn't have to be here. It made me love myself more. Whatever it is, that's when gratefulness comes in. That's when you become grateful, and that is really a big key to manifest things in your life, for healing, etc. And then the changing of the story is like the icing on the cake. You program your subconscious mind, you can do anything after that. Like, your subconscious mind cleared of all that trauma and pain and hurt, baby, I'm telling you, like, all things are possible after that. Because that's usually the block, is the subconscious mind. Because we still got those negative, I'm wondering, like, for me, I'd be like, why do I think like this all the time? Like, I really strive to be a positive, optimist person. Does that even make sense? A positive optimist. There you go. And then there's sometimes out the blue, like, I'll think some negative shit. And I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, I don't even know where that thought came from. Why am I still saying this about myself, or just about people, or whatever? Why am I thinking this way? It's because my subconscious mind has not been reprogrammed, and I haven't released trauma from since I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. I never really dealt with it. Never really released it. You know what I'm saying? That shit stays with you. I'm telling you. It stays with you until you do a ritual. That's why I love rituals. We're going to get to the ritual part next. I love rituals because they are so powerful. People are like, well, what's a ritual? It's an action. It's an action, okay? So, well, you'll see what I mean. So, you did all of that. You visualize it. And then this is the ritual part. So, you have 2 ways where you can release all of this. After you do all that, you do the visualizations. Then you're like, I'm going to release this and just give it to God. Give it to Spirit, universe, whatever word you want to use. I am giving it up. I am releasing it. It's done. That's like it's done seal, okay? So the ritual part is, because it's going to be on sheets of paper. So I like to burn things. I'm a fire sign, so I like to burn things. Not like that. I'm not crazy. I don't burn shit just to burn shit. But I just like to look at fires. Like, I love campfires, things like that. I just love the way fire just forms like these crazy. I'm a fire sign. I'm a double fire sign, so I love fire. So when I did my ritual, I burned my pieces of paper. So I didn't have a really big like tub, but you need to get something that you can burn paper in and it's not gonna melt. So no plastic. You can use a pot that you don't cook in. You just can't ever cook in it again. You know what I'm saying? But I actually bought a glass type of bowl. It's on my altar that I specifically use to burn things, and I burn ritual stuff and etc. It's actually shaped like a heart, which is awesome because this is also heart chakra healing stuff too. Because you're healing from the past and you're healing from hurt. That's healing your heart chakra. So I bought that bowl not even realizing that's what I was doing. So that's awesome. So anyway, it's not that big. So what I did, I think everyone should do this. I ripped up the pieces of paper. After I wrote everything, after I wrote what I learned, and I programmed my mind, okay, this is what I learned. And then after I changed the story to something that for my highest good, I ripped up the pieces of paper. I had like 15 sheets of paper, y'all. But I ripped it up, not too small pieces. And then I burned each piece of paper, and I did it slowly because there's a lot of pieces of paper, so I can only take certain piles and burn it. And I burned it, and I had it in my altar. And you see on my thumbnail, I show pictures of my altar of the paper burning. And I just said, thank you, Spirit, for taking this from me. Thank you, God, for taking this pain from me. I release this pain now. Whatever you want to say, just words and saying, I release this pain, I release this trauma. It is no longer a part of me. And so it is. However you want to say it, but say something like that as the paper is burning. So you can either burn it or, well, let me finish this ritual. So after this type of ritual. So after I burned everything, all the ashes were in there. I took the bowl and then I took it outside. And I was a little like, oh, do I want to do this? Because I was like littering, but it's ashes. It's not even paper anymore. And then I felt Spirit was like, no, it needs to connect with earth. And I dumped it, you know, in the earth. And the crazy thing is when I did it, the wind kind of blew and it kind of came back on me. And that was to me symbolic of the struggle of letting go of something that I've been holding on for so long. I'm gonna let that sit. Like literally some of it came back on me and I had to brush it off. Like, nah, you ain't sticking with me. You ain't sticking with me, because I held on it for so long because I was used to it. So I would create things in my life that was familiar. Ooh, this is some good stuff. I'm getting emotional. That was familiar to that pain that I felt as a child or whenever teenager or young adult, whatever. I would create subconsciously situations that would feel familiar, like that pain, because that's all I knew. You know, like people say you're a product of your environment. Man, that's some deep shit. So I was like, oh no, you're not. I brushed that shit off, and I'm gonna take a shower. I recorded this literally, you know, right after I did this ritual, and I felt like I needed to, but I'm gonna fully do a shower and do like a water ritual as well, which is another ritual. So anyways, so that was the fire burning one. If you don't want to burn fire, if you can't because of where you live, I don't know. Some people just can't burn fire. They just can't do it. I totally understand. So this is something that I've done before as rituals too, just to release as well. You still rip up the paper and then flush it down the toilet. I know some people are gonna be like, what's in the pipes? It's not, it's away from you. It's a release ritual. Spirit will take care of it. It's a release ritual. So you rip it up as tiny as you can because it is a toilet, and flush it down the toilet and say the same words that I said with the fire. I release the pain. I release the trauma. Thank you, Spirit, for taking this from me. I release what no longer serves me. It is well. All is well. Ashe, whatever you want to say. Flush it down the toilet. So those are the two type of rituals that you can do, and the releasing work that you can do, and the hypnotherapy, self-hypnosis that you can do to release trauma, past pains. And I just thought of the water ritual because I just said I'm going to take a shower. It's really great to do a water ritual after that. Whether you take a bath, which is an Epsom salt bath, and sit in the water and speak to the water and say thank you, because Epsom salt draws out toxins. Thank you for releasing this from me. I release the old, etc., etc. Then when the water goes down a drain, or you say, water, take this away from me. Thank you for taking this away from me as it goes to drain. Or you can get in the shower if you don't want to sit in the bath. Do the same thing. As the water is running down your body, it is, imagine it washing away all that doesn't serve you. So you say, thank you, water, for washing away all that doesn't serve me. I release all of the old pain, the past trauma into this drain now. And so it is. Thank you, Spirit. Ashe. The good thing is also say, which I'm going to do in my shower ritual when I'm finished with this video, is as you release that, you need to be filled with something. So I always do cutting cord meditations. By the way, I am a hypnotherapist. If you haven't read my about section, I am a certified hypnotherapist. So one of my favorite meditations is to do cord cutting meditation. And I am going to put on this channel a little 10-minute snippet of a cord cutting meditation. It's not the full one that I usually do, which is like 25 minutes long. But I'm going to do like a little snippet one shortly here. It could be in the next few days or it can be in a week, but it's going to be really soon because I feel like I need to do that as well. I feel like we're in a season where we need to get rid of the old. We need to cut off things, people, energies that don't serve us, so we can really enter into the new and be our true authentic selves, you know. And even if you are being your authentic self, there's still some, I feel there's a lot of people, there's still some baggage on you, or there's still energies of people pulling at you that you just got to get rid of shit, okay? That's just where we are. So I'm going to be doing a cord cutting meditation. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I forgot what I was saying. I was going to get in the shower and I was going to just imagine it going away and washing down the drain. And I do that in my cord cutting meditation as well. I do like a waterfall metaphor, but that's in my longer extended version of cord cutting. So I don't know where I was going to go with that. I don't know if I was going to talk about Archangel Michael, because I do call him in when I do the cord cutting meditation, and because he is that person to do that with his sword. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yay, it came back to me. You got to fill yourself up with, you asked to have everything released, or you released it. You gotta fill it with something, and that's what I do in the cord cutting meditation. I asked Michael to cut the cords, and I asked him to fill it with love, light, etc. Bam! Now I'm back. So when you do the water ritual, after you do everything else, whether it's the bath or the shower, ask whoever you want. It doesn't have to be Archangel Michael. It can be whoever you want that you feel comfortable with and that you resonate with. As long as it's a being of light, hey, it works for me. It works. Ask that being to fill you up. And if it's just the Holy Spirit, it's the Holy Spirit. Whatever it is, ask that force to fill you up in replace of what was taken out. Fill you up with abundance, love, prosperity, joy, peace, all of those beautiful things, you know what I'm saying? That those traumatic experiences stole from you. Woo! So just ask to be filled back up when you're in your bath, when you're in your shower, and then bless the shower water, bless the bath water, because water is a beautiful thing and it's very cleansing, and just bless it and say thank you for cleaning me up, man. And that's it. That's the whole ritual. And the water one just came to me now as I was doing this video. I mean, I've done water rituals before, but I mean to combine it with the other one. So like I said, it may take you a few weeks to complete this, or 2 days, or you may not be able to complete this in one day. And I just want you to rest assured that it's okay. The traumatic experiences from childhood up until an adult, or the pain or the hurt, that took years. It was years and years and years and years and years and years and years of shit. So why would you expect to release all that in one day? Okay, so it may take a few days. It took me 2. And so some people, it may take a week. Some people you can do it in one day. I'm saying for those who be like, oh, I can't get this done in one day. Honey, you will get it done at the time you were meant to get it done. And that is all that matters, okay? As long as you do the work. I call what's a divine team. And my divine team is my spirit guides, my angels, archangels, just my divine team. Our ancestors, they're a divine team because there's so many people helping us, right? So many spirits, we're being helped in the supernatural spiritual realm, right? So my divine team, I always call on them, and they always give me downloads of information of things, and actually they're the ones who gave me the information for this video. So, and the thing is with my memory is like it comes and goes. Right now I've been water fasting for 5 days, so I'm here, I feel great, but then I'm a little like So I forgot what I was going to say about my divine team. Maybe I just needed to say that you need to tap into your divine team because they're there to help you. Maybe that was the message that someone needed to hear. They're there. They're just waiting for you to acknowledge them, okay? And, but they're there. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video because it's getting kind of long. It's 25 minutes long, but it's some good food for your soul, for your spirit. If you like the video, please hit the thumb button because then that lets everybody know it was liked, meaning it will spread and more people will get healed because that's what this video is for, to help people get healed, okay? Like the video, subscribe to my channel, help me grow. I am a new YouTuber. Help me grow, and share this video so people can really heal themselves because it's time. It's time for us to heal ourselves. It's time for us to step into our authentic, purpose-filled life, okay? And if you want to be notified of other videos I'll be posting, hit the bell, okay? So you will be notified. Thank you again for listening. Oh, and you can follow me on IG. I don't have the fancy little thing that pops up yet because I'm a new YouTuber, but I'm Mystic Blue, so I am on IG and Twitter under the same name, Mystic, MYSTICBLU, and the number is 223, so that's Mystic Blue 223. You can follow me on IG and Twitter, both under the same name. I'm more active on IG. I post inspiration, same things that I talk about on my channel, just in a little snippet form. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I appreciate your patience. Let's get to healing, guys, and taking it higher, all right? Bless.